Welcome everyone to another episode of Starmade Here. In today's episode, we shall work on the mothership again a little bit. There's a few things that I want to finish, and that is mainly the hull. The inside we can still tend to afterwards, but today I want to finish the hull so that we get the shape somewhat finalized. As you can see, there's a lot of the mothership still in the open. That is not a good thing, so that's one thing that I want to work on in today's episode. And if I have some more time, which I highly doubt due to experience, I will try to work a little bit on the tail, which especially with the new texture pack looks a little bit weird and incomplete. I need to, for instance, thicken those helix shapes, make them a little bit more distinct. I also need to make sure that the inside is not a dock chip, because the ship wiggles around really crazily when I fly around, which is a really bad thing. But other than that, I'm happy with the mothership so far. I'm also happy with the planet and what we have achieved. My little home down there, and I'm just grateful for it. It's a great home. Unfortunately, there is not much furniture to be done in Starmade, but maybe eventually that will come as well, which I also highly doubt. But other than that, let's get started with finishing the mothership hull. Well, so inspecting the mothership a little bit, I decided we want to start with the cockpit, linking it up to those rays. I so far only have a bunch of struts. This is all going to be filled out and smoothed out using wedges and everything as usual. Also down here we have to kind of make a stomach. So you can see everything here is in the open. The only hull that's basically done is right here. We have to connect it up towards this side. It's probably going to connect up right to this layer down below. And we have all the inside to install modules later on, so if we need more energy, more shields, more recharge rate, whatever, we can fill it all up. We're just gonna finish the hull so far. And what else is to do? I will have to connect... steering, there we go. I'll have to connect all of these edges up here. I will have to make this layer a little bit thicker, maybe a little bit roundish, so that it doesn't look too flat. As you can see right now, it doesn't look very natural. It's just like a platform with some hanging eyes down below, and this is what we shall change today, and I think it's gonna look pretty awesome once we make some progress. Here we are with another progress update. As you can see, I kind of finished the cockpit area, at least the front. There's still a gap we have to fill. I also extended the struts, made them a little bit thicker. I tried to give them a little bit of color, and now you maybe slowly and surely realize what I intend to do with it, if it wasn't clear enough before. But anyways, let's see what happens if we continue in the same manner. As promised, I continued in the same fashion. We always have some black lines, 2 gray lines, a blue line, 2 gray, black, and so on and so forth. And I also tried to smooth it out a little bit, intentionally only in the one direction, because we want to be aerodynamic, even though it's a spaceship and it doesn't make total sense, but that's alright. It's still hard to imagine how I want to connect up this wing with this module right here. I kind of need to make a roundish shape towards here, maybe go with the shape of the thruster right here, extend this all the way. It's kind of a thing to wing it. Kind of a wing it thing, right? So that's what we're doing here. And in the end we shall see if it does look good or not, and if it doesn't, we can always take it apart very easily. Well, so I do believe we have made some substantial progress. The cockpit is, as I believe, almost finished. I will have to smooth out the edges of the lava. I had to use lava because I couldn't see anything at all. It was just too dark. So I had to use some kind of light block, and lava is the one thing that I have most of. Also, as you can see, my rays up here are connected now with the wing in some weird manner. I see that there are some edges to smooth out as well, and you can see all these edges I haven't smoothed out yet, because placing wedges is just, it's agonizing sometimes if you have to do it for a long time. Also, this corner or this edge here I'm not happy with, but other than that, I think it's coming along nicely. It's great. I'll have to make this a little bit more roundish. I believe this here should be a tad more round, so that also when we look from the bottom we can see some kind of roundness going on. Oh, Mothership, how many hours have I wasted on you already? But you make me happy. You are my Nancy. Anyways, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have a look at what I have accomplished so far, which is smoothness and shapes. It's not patterns so far, because as you can clearly see, there's a cut in the middle of the mothership pattern wise. We will have to make some adjustments in order to avoid that, but for now I was interested in getting the shape done. And look at this. What I really like is that the eyeballs are somehow attached, you know, to the body, and they kind of stick out, just like with, I don't even know if that is the case with a manta ray, but that's just how I want my manta ray to be. But other than that, down below there's wedges missing, as you can clearly see. But what do you think? Now there's one big gap left to do, but I believe that I want to install something else here. There will be space for another module, maybe a super large thruster, because we still are gonna need a lot more thrust in order to move fast around and be a little bit more agile. Well, we're never gonna be agile with this ship, but we can be fast at least. That's one thing we can do. And yeah, so now that has been a few hours, so I think I am gonna leave the mothership be for today's episode. That has been enough work on it. Let's do something else. Now, if you have seen the previous episode, you have seen the mighty hand, first of all, which still needs some fixing. The fingers, for instance, aren't long enough. I tried to make it as organic as possible, which is really hard with blocks, I have to say. It's a lot easier to make this house, for instance. So what I intend to do with this planet is to transform it into a city-like planet with lots of technology added to it, with lots of futuristic buildings such as this upside down pyramid thing, and hopefully more stuff is gonna load in. Whenever I record, stuff is loading in so slowly. Come on, I want to see all of my buildings. So I think for the rest of the episode we shall make another building yet. The building we're gonna make is gonna be, let's say, a water tower. That's one thing town needs to get itself started. Fresh water. Well, so that's what I think is my water tank supposed to look like. My futuristic water tank, of course, and I just used the lava for some nifty effects. That's the logo. But I wanted to make some time lapses as well in this episode, but I think I'm gonna let it be, because I am completely out of ideas what I want to make specifically for the city at the moment. I'm not out of ideas in general, but what buildings should we have here? I already know that I want to set up a park, so that's maybe one thing that I could get to in today's episode. But I'm dependent on you guys, that you suggest me the buildings that you want to see in the city, because there's gonna be tons of buildings. My NPCs are gonna join me. You can see all the blue triangles, or the blue squares actually. They are all waiting for a home for them, a job for them, in a bakery, in a butcher shop, or whatever. Just let me know whatever the hell I am supposed to build here. So as I said, let's maybe make some kind of a park with foliage and trees and some bushes or so. That would be nice, and we shall see how that turns out. Okay, so I have dedicated the area, or assigned. Man, I'm having trouble with words today, you won't believe me. But anyways, this is the area for my garden. It's gonna be following the shape of my sand platform or my beach, whatever the hell that is. And it's gonna be a straight line, like there's gonna be a small street for passengers to walk by, maybe some buildings for families and stuff like that. And in here we're gonna set up a park with trees. I already got myself some ice wood, which I have from other planets stored in my shop. We're gonna build a bunch of trees ourselves. And also I have some red rock for some pathways, some nice little pathways, maybe some lava in combination with foliage in order to create lights. Are we able to do that? Let's see, what if we made something like that? Yeah, it still gives off light really nicely and you can barely see the lava, so that is a great thing. And I also got some grass with me in case we need it, got some sand with me. And of course the plant life is still waiting for me in the shop, which we're gonna add the last. And now that it's nighttime, I'm taking the opportunity for a little status update. The trick with the lamps works really nicely. If you use that foliage, it's no problem at all. I made a little pond, I made a little pathway, I made 3 trees which look more or less acceptable. This one is still a little bit flat. This one is still, okay, they don't look very much acceptable, but it's all fine because I'm having fun here. I'm watching a movie, by the way, and just playing a little bit of Starmade. What else do you want? Yeah, that's gonna be good. Next up, we shall make a gateway inside of it. You know, usually when you go into a park, there's like a gateway with some roses on it or stuff like that. Let's see, with what material want to make it? Of course with the foliage, I guess. Let's just place it right there and make a little archway. You know, something like that. That will do. Yeah, we're gonna poke out these guys. Like so. So we have some more space. Now I wonder if I could place some flowers on top of that or something like that. And let's finish it off using some sand. Great. Yeah. Now what I think I will have to do is make this foliage one higher in order to make it look a little bit more realistic. All the way around. Yeah, I think so. And do some more decoration, of course. Yeah, but well guys, I feel like it's around this wrapping up point again. We have accomplished a lot in today's episode. I have placed thousands and thousands of blocks, which are clearly visible. Hopefully you can see a difference now. The mothership looks a lot more complete. Also, we have added 2 more structures right here. The tower can be finished, that's alright, but the park, there should be some more stuff that we're gonna add in here, especially plant life that I still have in the shop, but I do not want to bore you and I can render this episode while I'm doing so. But other than that, don't forget to leave your suggestions for the buildings you want to see. Also leave all your suggestions you want to see down below, because I don't know, it still feels kind of limited what you can do in here. I mean, you can do some creative buildings if you want, you can do some pirate raiding and stuff like that, but you guys probably also have some other ideas I could show you in these episodes. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, have a great time, and hopefully catch you the next time. Bye bye.